Hey everyone. So this is the second part of our camelCase video. So in that video, we wrote a function that converts a string into camelCase. Okay. And in this video, we will write a function that takes an object and convert its all the keys in camelCase. So here, suppose we have this object, and in this object, all the keys are these keys which we have used in our previous videos. Like they are in different cases: hyphen, snake case, normal string, or whatever. So we have to return a new object where all these keys should be in camel case. Okay, so this is what we have to implement in this function, camelize object function. Okay, so let's understand how will we do it. Okay, so here also we will use recursion. So we will iterate through all the keys of this object. Okay, and check if the value of that key is string or object. If its value is object and not a string, then we will call this function again, camelize object with object dot that key and with that value. Okay, so like in the first iteration, here in the first iteration, this will be the complete object for our function. Okay, and then here it will go through all the keys. So first key, this key, the value is 1, so here it will simply store object dot camelize value of this string equals to 1. Okay, but for this key, it is an array, it is not a string. Okay, so in this case the value will be object dot camelize version of this key equals to our this function called with the argument is object dot this key. Okay, so that's how we will loop through all the keys of this object, and we will call the recursion if needed. Okay, so this is the logic. Now let's write it. So I already told you that here we have to return a new object. We don't need to change this original object. Okay, so we have to make an object here. So for making it, first we will check that our object is check object is array or object. Okay, so if obj is array, then we will initialize it. We will initialize our new object, new obj with an empty array. Okay, fine. And if it is an object, then we will initialize it by empty object. Fine. Now we will loop through all the keys of the object obj. Fine. And in each loop we will check the value for that key, and if the value is object, then we have to use recursion. Then object dot camel key will be camelize object of object dot that key, means value. Object dot that key is value. Okay, else if the value is not object, then we will simply assign object dot camel key to that value. Okay, fine. So here I will write it obj key is value. Okay, so this is the logic, and finally we will return our new object. Return new obj. Let's write code for it. Okay, so if type of obj is object, so type of is used to know the type of this variable. So if the type of obj is object, then this will be true, and if the type of obj will something else like number or string, then it will go in else. So in case of uh, if object obj is number or string, then we will simply return it, because we cannot camelize a number or string. Like we have to camelize the keys of our object, right? We don't need to camelize the value. Fine. So if the coming obj is not a object, then we will simply return whatever is coming. Okay, now we have to check if this obj is array. Fine, because array is also an object in JavaScript, but only in case of array the keys are 0 1 2, and it representation is like this in this bracket. Okay, so we will check if this object is array or not. If array dot is array this obj, okay, then we have to initialize this new object. Fine, new obj. So if it is object, then we will initialize it by empty object, and if it is an array, then we will initialize it by empty array. Okay, so this is the most crucial part, the initialization of the new object. Okay, now we have to look through all the keys of this object obj. So object dot keys function returns all the keys of this obj. Okay, so we will look through it for each. Okay, this is key, and the value of that key in that object will be const val equals to obj dot key. Okay, and now we have to check the type of val. Like here we are here, so we have to check the value of that key. Okay, so if that value is object, if type of val is object, okay, means in this case if the value is object like this or this, okay, then we will store new object dot camel key. We will define camel key. After that, camel key equals to camelize object of this value. Now we have to camelize this thing. Okay, okay, like for this string 6 key we have to camelize this, and we will store object dot this camelized version of this string 6 equals to this. Okay, else we will store the same value, whatever it is, number, string, or whatever. Fine, and here in camel key we have to convert this key in camelCase. So we have already made a function for that, this camelCase function, so we can use it here. So camelCase key. Okay, and finally we will return our new object. Okay, so this is the code. Now let's test it. So first of all we will pass this object. Okay, and let's run it. Okay, so here we can see, okay, let me also print the original object so that we can differentiate. And for now let's not stringify it. So this is the original object and this is the camelize object. Okay, so here you can see in the original object the keys are like normal string, like here half blood prints in the spaces between, it is in camel case, it is in like hyphen is there, and it mix of everything. Okay, and in our uh, camelize object res variable, in our res we can see that key, this is in camel case, and this half blood prints is also in camel case, and inside of it, like it is nested array, so half blood prints is an array, and here the first element is an object, and inside of it the key is also in camel case, and the second element is only a number, simply a number. Okay, again the third element is a object with that key is in camel case. Okay, so you can see that it is working fine for all the keys. Now let's test in another object. So here this is another object. Okay, so this is the original object. Here obj is an array, our object is an array. Okay, so here we can see in the original object our first element is an object and its key is 1. Okay, and in the camelized version it has been converted to camel case. Okay, here you can see, so it is working fine. Now let's test it on a array, simple array. Okay, so nothing should happen because there is no key here. Okay, so it should simply return the same value. Okay, you can see same value returned. Now let's test for this object. Here we have an object where the keys are number. Okay, but this is an object, not an array. Okay, so here you can see the same thing is returned because all the keys are same number, they cannot be camelized. Okay, okay, so yeah, that's all this in this video. Okay, so this is a very famous interview questions. I have also faced this question in my Flipkart interview, so I hope this video will help in your preparation. And yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching.